Welcome back. You're still watching In the Game. We just wrapped up our top 5 stories making the rounds in the world of sports. Still here with Idoka and Joko. It's been a great conversation around different sports, boxing, athletics, and we also had a bit of football in that conversation. Not a good one for Super Eagles of Nigeria, but I'm sure that they would find a great replacement ahead of that October international window. It's time to switch gears right now, go deeper into the world of sport. Athletics takes our attention. Udoka, you know that we are crossing our fingers, hoping that athletes can bring joy, smile to our faces very soon, because this weekend, we do not want to joke with it. Because going back to what happened in 2023, we don't want that to happen again. Or do you want afflictions to arise a second time?
No. Thunder shouldn't strike twice.
Yes, tell them with your Mazi cap.
Exactly, thunder shouldn't strike twice. So, but for our athletes, we look forward to them performing well at the World Championships. But again, Nigeria happened to some of them. The relay team, still a sad one. That's for Nigeria.
An unfortunate situation around the World Athletics Championship.
I just hope that they will not be under too much pressure. Because yesterday on the show, someone was saying that a popular coach said the best for the athletes is to be present, to feature. Attendance is all
just
it takes.
Attend.
Come on. No. Those that are winning medals,
we've moved past just attending competitions. We should be able to, yes, competing for medals, win medals, go home with medals to show and prove that we can stand with the best, we can compete with the best. Nigeria will be gearing up for the redemption at the 20th World Athletics Championship in Tokyo. This will be from the 13th to 21st of September with a 15-athlete squad. They are aiming to restore national pride. You can see on your screen the numbers there. Hoping to restore national pride after leaving Budapest empty-handed last year. We did not even come back with a mug, nor even a cup, nor even the ID cards from this competition. With the likes of Obiageri Pamela Amaechi, Ese Brume, and Prestina Ochonogor leading the charge in the field events, and also star hurdler Tobi Amusan, not forgetting Nathaniel Ezekiel, aiming for track. The expectations are high, same as athletics enthusiasts who are here in Nigeria, hoping that they can come up with medals. In field events also, we've got Charles Godfred, who will feature in the long jump, and Chukwuebuka Enekwechi leads the shot put challenge. The championship marked a chance for redemption after Nigeria endured a disappointing campaign in Budapest 2023, leaving empty-handed for the 11th time in 19 editions. Amusan finished 6th in the hurdles final. Brume missed the podium in the long jump, and the relay teams, they faltered. Nigeria now looks to Tokyo to reignite its global athletics pedigree. The question here is, can the team finally reclaim a sport on podium and restore national pride on the global stage? We will not be doing this conversation alone in the studio. We've got joining us all the way from the United States. We've got the country manager of Making of Champions, Deji Ogetoyinbo. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. This conversation here, I have a bit of chills because I'm still trying to pinch myself, bring myself to reality that we will not have Favor Ofili in this lineup. It's a huge pain for me. But, Deji, after the disappointment from Budapest 2023, we are saying we do not want the thunder to strike twice. How realistic, please bring us to reality, how realistic is Nigeria's chances in Tokyo this year?
Well, the thunder might strike twice this time around. It's sad to say, but it's the reality. And I mean, you could go back to track the preparation coming into the Tokyo World Championships as far back as 2 years ago, or perhaps if you want to be generous and look at the Paris Olympics in 2024, where we still did not win any medal from the track event, right? To give you an inclination to what to expect now. But there might just still be a glimmer of hope. And that glimmer of hope did not necessarily come from the preparation or from Nigeria, right? Track, like I would always indicate, is an individual sport, but it's also solely reliant on athletes competing for their nations. So you look at still Tobi Amusan undoubtedly being our biggest medal hope, no doubt about that. Going back 3 years ago where she won the world title at the World Championships in Eugene, Oregon. And she also broke the world record. 3 years down the line, it's been so much of torrid journey for her in terms of still remaining at the top, as well as consistently churning out those results. And I mean, since 2022, this year undoubtedly has to be our biggest year in terms of performances. She's run under 12.3 seconds about 3 times this year. She's ranked in the top 5 in the world this year with regards to her performances. But unlike 2022, this year has produced undoubtedly the largest chunk of athletes you'll find in the women's 100-meter hurdles, where people are saying it's very unpredictable, where they can only predict the gold champion. I'm talking about Marcel Russell of the United States. Our perennial rival in Jasmine Camacho Queen is out of this year's World Championship. But we've got a couple of other athletes that have come through, especially from America. Yeah. You're talking about Marcel Russell, you're talking about Grace Stark, you're looking at the likes of Akira Nugent, former world champion Daniel Williams, Megan Tapper, Nadine Visa of the Netherlands, and you could go on and on. And all of these guys could genuinely win a medal because they've run in the same region of what Tobi has run this year. So it's literally open for the taking. Potentially another medal hope, even though it might be a very or tiny glimmer, might be Ezekiel Nathaniel, who just turned professional after his last year in college at Baylor University. He runs the 400-meter hurdles. I followed his career right from the World Juniors in Nairobi when I first covered him in 2021, and he's been consistent. This year, he literally blew every other person into the waters all through his college's career. When he turned professional, ran a couple of Diamond League. In fact, he won at the Celesta Diamond League in Poland. He ran a national record, an African record of 47.31. He's ranked number 5 this year. So maybe favor my fortune, my fortune might favor him. He's been really brave. He must really commend Nathaniel too. So aside those two, you can't really put your hands and say one will meet the medal. Definitely Chukwuebuka Enekwechi will make a final. In the short puts, he's consistently been doing that. This year, I've seen him gone another leap, but I mean, with the likes of Ran Krauser, Joe Kovacs, Leonardo Fabri, former world champion from Italy, all throwing 23-meter plus, it's going to be difficult for Chukwuebuka Enekwechi to win a medal, but definitely a final spot.
All right. I mean, with all of this, I'm actually afraid because, like you said, and I agree with us, Thunder might just strike twice right at the World Championships. But I'm particular about 2 athletes. Ese Brume is 29 years old. Tobi Amusan is 28 years old. Age is no longer on their side. I mean, I wonder how long they can go. Now, the next Olympics is in LA 2028. That's 2 years from now. Brume will be 31. Amusan will be 30. What are our chances that we're ever, because Tobi Amusan is a world champion when it comes to hurdles, what are the chances for Nigeria to actually go past the likes of Ese Brume and Tobi Amusan and we still present world champions outside the shores of Africa?
So it's always been hit and miss, really, for Nigeria. In terms of discovery, with the work we do, making of champions with MTN Champs, we've already set that template, right? Before now, we still were discovering athletes. So the pipeline of our talent will always be there, more than any other Black nation, perhaps even any other nation in the world, right? But it's kind of like how we have oil, right? The oil is there at its raw stage. We've channeled our developmental process to colleges in the United States. 90% of these athletes that are currently at the World Championships have gone through the collegiate system. Perhaps only Ese Brume did not go through the collegiate system. Every other person went through college, and there are a barrage of them in college that couldn't make Tokyo for a variety of socioeconomical factors, right? Visa issues, personal issues with school, not being able to travel. The talent will always be there. I can tell you that for free. Now, the trick is not what happens in college. The trick is what happens after college. Yeah. They turn professional, because you would literally see a correlation between athletes that win medals and athletes that have got sponsorship and are running the sport or competing in the sport as professional athletes. It's different from running in college. I mean, you would find a few exceptions to the rule here and there, which is one part Nigeria has not been able to crack. Now, it's not necessarily a Nigerian factor, but then again, we also have to take a bit of the blame, because if you don't have the infrastructure, if you don't have the resources in terms of coaches, if you don't have the model in terms of training, you won't be able to do it. Look at what Botswana is doing with the camps that likes of Nike have built with Leslie Tebogo as its front end, with Dofe as the coach there, right? We can also do the same with Nigeria. We've got the likes of Deji Ali doing that with the MOT Academy, but at the elite level, can a Koinsola Ajayi will be competing 100 meters when he's done with college, for example? I mean, I don't know if he's going to turn pro when he's done with college. Can he say he wants to go back to Nigeria and train and he gets the right support and compete at the world stage? That's all that matters at this point in time.
Okay.
He's also thinking futuristic.
Okay, being futuristic there. Let's be futuristic with our medal chances right now. I get to show you the last 5 appearances of Nigeria at the World Championship, Athletics Championship. And the truth is, it's not been encouraging if you see by this tally here. 2015 in Beijing, we went with 16 athletes. We came back with nothing, not even your glasses. It was with you, Deji. You can see what happened there. And in 2017 in London, we went with 18 athletes. Nothing came back with us. 2019, yes, a glimpse of hope, bronze medal, and that was just long jump. I remember, yes, Ese Brume, if I'm correct, and that was the only medal we got home with. In 2022, you can see 24 athletes. We saw. That's where we had that tears of joy from Tobi Amusan and also Ese Brume there. Let's see, Hungary 2023, nothing, 27 athletes. Now, the number of athletes keep increasing. This year, we have only 15 going to Tokyo, Japan. But this 15 is as a result of the failure for the relay team making it to this competition, and that's why we have 15 athletes. We should be talking about, we just knocked off 12. If you look at the relay team for the men, relay team for the women, and the mixed relay team, if you look at that, we just knocked off 12 athletes. So the contingents keep going higher. The numbers keep going higher, but we do not come back with anything. Deji, we have Ese Brume and Prestina Ochonogor at this time around for the long jump. Are there hopes that we'll get something from the field event? Can Nigeria once again find success? Maybe in long jump, just like Ese Brume has been consistent from that 2022 and the last edition that we did see there.
I mean, it's possible. Well, definitely with Ese Brume, she's a consistent performer, not just for Nigeria or Africa, globally. She's not cracked 7 meters or perhaps even 6.9 meters this year or this season. She's not even in the top 10. Right, but she's always a good championship performer. That's one thing you can count on Ese Brume at any given time. I was talking to our coach, Kayode Yaya, who also is with Team Nigeria, about a month ago, somewhere in Georgia, and he was telling me about how she mentally prepares for things like this or events like this, considering how crucial it is to also use it to retain a sponsor ahead of the Olympics in 2028. So you definitely cannot rule out Ese Brume. Prestina Ochonogor got to the final of the Paris Olympic last year. She just started college. She's a precocious talent. Perhaps even put her ceiling way higher than Ese Brume. She's also training under Kayode Yaya to. It's going to be a big experience for her. Can something pop up? Of course, we saw Blessing Okagbare win silver at the Beijing Olympics in 2008 as a long jumper when she was just 19. Prestina is also in that realm too. She's won continental titles for Nigeria, so it's a huge possibility. Of course, you talked about the relay team. I think that's one place Nigeria failed most of these athletes. They're athletes that, or their countries that they know they will most likely not win the medal individually, but they've perfected the art of competing at the relays. And last year, when we went for the World Relays in Bahamas, I was there, and we had 4 teams qualify for Paris, right? Sadly, we had one team not qualify for the final because of a lane infringement. I think it was Emmanuel Ogeli then. No, I think it was Emmanuel Ogeli then. But I mean, more importantly is the fact that we couldn't go to the World Relays in Japan just in time to make it, because I mean, just showing up there and competing would have guaranteed us a spot at this World Championship, considering that the fact that the top 14 teams would qualify automatically by virtue of being at the World Relay. But guess what? Nigeria couldn't secure visa on time, bringing up the old excuse of the whole bilateral relationship between the Chinese and as well as Nigeria, talking about the world relays was in China, not in Tokyo. Sorry, my bad there. But I mean, invariably, it's a situation where we need to look at the process to how we got here to be able to understand that. I mean, it's not going to be a miracle if we're going to go into Tokyo without getting any medal, and we just have to live with the results of our own, of what we had done or our own decisions.
Okay.
All right. We just hope that things will work out for the 15 athletes representing Nigeria over there at the World Championships in Tokyo, and hopefully thunder will not strike twice for the Nigerian athletes. Hopefully
it's going to be luck. I mean, most likely.
Hopefully we'll come back home with something. But thank you very much, Deji Ogetoyinbo, for joining us today, and hopefully we'll get to see you again to give us the good news from the athletes over there in Tokyo. Thank you for joining.